Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Joseph Martin, and welcome to the Market Hour. And thank God it's Wednesday. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by unlocking the wealth building power of the stock market. Before we start looking at opportunities, let's get this chat going. We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, and put an FB in the chat if you're tuning in from Facebook. Before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited. Traders lose critical detail and advanced platform features on a mobile screen. So be advised, trading from a phone is usually the least effective way for managing assets. To see every detail, use a full trading platform and watch these streams on a computer or TV. Only use your phone as a last resort. Okay, so this is where we are today. Last night, on the live stream, I talked about starting to do these live streams in the afternoon, and we're going to call them the market hour. I was working on the other channel, Original Greatness Uncut, this morning because I did not have a short schedule to come out today. So I'm just talking to you guys to let you know a little bit about what's going on. So I don't have everything prepared for this live stream today, but I'm here because I said I was going to be here. So I wasn't going to use not being prepared as not showing up. You ever seen the movie Will Smith, The Pursuit of Happiness? He showed up to that meeting looking terrible, but he ended up landing the internship. He showed up. And we talk about that. Guys, you got to show up. You got to stop letting your problems stop you from showing up. Things happen. Just show up. You better off just telling people like, look, I ain't prepared, than to sit up there and fake it and make it look like you got your stuff together and you don't. And then they be like, you know what? This guy don't have his stuff together, whatever the case may be. But it's because I'm a one-man band. I washed clothes this morning. I got the short ready on the other channel. I had to create the thumbnail for this. I had to write the script for the intro, and I got that part, but I don't have my closing ready and all of that. So I'm just going to talk to you guys while we get this stuff going. I can just keep you entertained, and we can spend this afternoon together. But since this is about the market, let's go ahead and pull up the market so you guys can see what I got going on over here. So the reason I have Carnival on the thumbnail is because currently in the S&P 500, it is leading right now. Carnival is up over 10%. Since the market is open, it's going to be jumping around. So it's up over 10% right now. So I'm going to let this watch list play, and I'm going to watch this chat. And if somebody comes in and want to ask some questions, do some quick Q&A, let me matter of fact. Boy, ain't that something? You like it the way I said that? Let me matter of fact. Can I move this? No, that's not what I want to do. Now I don't even know what I did. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, we fixed it. Now what I'm trying to do, I want to move the camera over to the other side. And of course, in real time, I don't remember how to do it. Boy, I told you. I be trying to tell y'all. Here it is. All right, so this gives me the ability to move this over. I want to move this over to the other corner. So I did that. And this way I'm not blocking some of this information over here while I get this other stuff going. Is that good? I think that's good for right now. Okay, so I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. When I checked my positions this morning, I was happy about it because I was invested in the transportation industry while it was taking a beating. They were taking a beating while I was invested in it. And now, because of what's been going on with the TSA and at the airports, people are renting more cars. The car rental industry is booming right now. And those stocks seem to be reaping some of the benefits now that people have increased their car rentals despite rising gas prices. There was something I wanted to put on the screen. That's what I wanted to put. That's what I want to put. There we go. Q&A. Ask questions in the chat. All right. So because of the difficulties and everything that's been going on in transportation with the war, rising gas prices, and I don't even know if the shutdown is still going on, but the shutdown and not funding TSA and people working without getting paid, the lines and travel at the airport was crazy. So then they brought in Homeland Security, ICE, to help with that. And they were able to kind of relieve some of that pressure. But the car rental companies were able to reap the benefits of people deciding to go ahead and start renting more cars. So that industry is doing very well right now. And the ticker for that is CAR. So Avis, matter of fact, since I'm telling you that, let me go ahead and pull this up. And I look like I'm all over the place because I'm working on getting the script together. Since I told you I just threw everything on. So if this is not what I want you to see. The ticker for CAR. So I'll go over the charts. Now, I don't know how they performing today, and I know we're supposed to be looking at Carnival, but since I'm talking to you about these stocks, let me show them to you. CAR. There it is, Avis. So you can see how Avis and just shot up. Car rentals. And we're looking at a 1-year daily chart. So this is happening over a matter of, let me use this tool real quick. So from the bottom of this candle to the top of this one, a matter of 16 days, this stock has went up over 168%. And this is what I'm talking about when I tell you guys, you have to look at the charts. These opportunities are out here. And if you just listen to what everybody else talking about, you're usually going to hear nightmares of just people losing money in the stock market. And I don't think that just comes from bad trades. Bad trades, in my opinion, and investments come from a lack of knowledge. You don't know what you're doing. So it's like, if you don't know what you're doing, of course you're going to lose money. And most of the time, people that don't know how to invest or trade, they wait until everybody else is talking about something. So if you ever heard the saying, they say, buy the rumor, sell the news. Because it's kind of like, once everybody knows about it, my nose is bothering me. So give me 1 second. Give me one second. Let me take me off the screen. I'll be back in 1 second. Yeah, it's called buy the rumor, sell the news. So it's like, once everybody knows about it, they've already purchased it. Like the people that were really investing and really doing their homework and their research, they had bought it when it was down here. You see this wide area right here? This tool is taking a minute. Let me switch. This area right here. And even before this, why is this not? Here we go. This area right here. This was the rumor area. This is when the investors that knew what they were doing were buying. They were buying here. They weren't buying up here. By the time it's all the way up here, this is when the average They call them retail traders or weak hands. This when the weak hands hear about it because now they're talking about it everywhere. And now they come in buying it. And guess who's selling it to them? I'm going to show you. Everybody that bought it down here. Everybody that bought it down here for less than $115. Let me use this line. So I'm going to try to get the top of this rectangle. So everybody that bought it in here purchased the stock for less than 100. I'm blocking it. So I got to move me. I got to move me. I can't do it that way. I click this, put me on the other side of the screen. So everybody, now I'm blocking the other side. Oh my goodness. Let me move this up. There we go. So everybody in this gray area that I shaded on the chart, they were buying it down here. So now when people coming in, they hear about the news, everybody talking about it. This is who's selling it to these people up here that's late. This is usually why the average person, retail traders, and the other word is weak hands, and people that don't know what they're doing end up losing money in the stock market. They wait until somebody else tells them, hey, you should buy something. Hey, this is doing good. You should buy it. By the time it gets to you, people are already loaded up on it. Look how many days. Now we're looking at a day chart, and I'm going to move this over and we can really go back. So even still, look at how long it was a bargain. I'm going to draw another line. So this was months and months of this stock being a bargain compared to where it is now. So they just loading up. You see how close these candles are? They just quietly buying it up, buying it up, buying it up, buying it up, buying it up. Now, boom, it takes off. Now, as it takes off, now this stock is all the way up to $272. That's over 100% from where they bought it for, from less, well, 42, that would be 280. I'm rounding it off. So it had almost doubled, even if they had bought it in here. But I'm looking at this area right here. This was the real money. The people that got it up in here, if they held and waited to sell it all the way up here, they made over 100% return, which I already showed you in 16 days from this candle move here. It was over 100% return. So if somebody had invested $1,000, they would have turned that $1,000 into $2,680. And I'm going to show you on the calculator real quick, because that's usually what I do at the market recap live at night. So $1,000 times one, what was the percentage? 0.68. Yeah, we're going to leave it at that. So that's $1,680. And this would be the ROI, your return on investment. Then you add the $1,000 back to it. This is your principal. This was the money you actually, someone actually invested. If someone was to invest that $1,000, their principal would be $1,000, but their ROI would be the $1,680. So altogether, the investment would have grown to $2,680 in a matter of 16 days. Based on what we're looking at on the chart, and if that person purchased it at the low of this candle or better, they would be and sold it at this actual high. And even if they didn't get it perfect, because that's the other argument, you can't time the market. You're not going to be able to get it perfect. That's actually why I chose this candle, because the bottom of this candle still shows that for, let me use this tool again. I can show you how many candles this is just by using this tool. So we're going to remove the drawing candle, and we're just going to click here and then link that one. It'll tell me how many candles that is by linking this. Just clicked it. Why is it not? There we go. So that's 30 days. So a matter of 30 days, it was lower than this candle right here. We'll use the top of the candle, like the close. Here's the close. So if I bring this line down, can I do this? Yes. If I bring this line down to the close, just about the close of that candle, it's slightly above it, guys, but that's it. If I want to be precise, I mouse over the candle and I look at it. So the close was 107.28. So I could go into the properties of this, And I said 107.28, and we can type it in right here if we want it to be specific. Then we click OK. So now that line is perfectly at the close of this candle. So over these 30 days, they had an opportunity to buy it for less than where it was at this close on this candle. That was March 23rd. And then if they sold it anywhere up in here, so we'll use this line. I think that's the 107. Is it going to let me connect? Let's go to that tool. I'm going to connect it on the close. And I'm going to use the open of this candle. That's still over 100% return. So it shows you, even with a margin of error, if you had bought it down in this area and sold it anywhere up in here, let me draw the shaded area. So if you had sold it anywhere in here, it would have been over 100% return. You had 2 days to get out, and you had 30 days to get in. And you saying that it ain't opportunities in the market to see returns like this? No, they don't happen all the time. But the fact is they exist. If you watch the live streams, you'll see actually how often this stuff comes up. Now I got Carnival on the ticker, and I'm talking about CCL is Carnival, and I'm talking about Avis because I had recognized that opportunity from what I was seeing with what's going on politically in the world, like the war, which they just did a ceasefire, I think, if I had saw that, and then the rise in gas prices, oil going up and all of that, and they saying that that was coming from what was happening over with the war. So now, and then the government shut down, and I talked about why the car rentals were reaping the benefits, because people were choosing to travel a different way because the airlines was chaotic. So this is what's going on with Carnival. So they gapped up today. That's part of the reason why they have that large percentage gain of over 10% today. So yesterday, this is after earnings. So they had earnings on March 27th. And from what I'm seeing now, they had a gap up today. So here's where they opened at today. This is where they are today. That's not the actual open, but here's where the price action is today. And here's where the price action was yesterday. And when we look at the volume, today definitely has more volume than yesterday. And I have this on the wrong setting. This is pro market close. So let me switch this to pro market open. So this is going to give us more accurate data. And then we go over here and we need to put back in Carnival. So because I got that on the thumbnail. If that's what you're looking at, you want to see. Let's go over to Carnival. So I zoom in. We are on Carnival. And now that I have it on pro market open, you can see on the labels that the average volume is active, is moving. It's something else I designed in these labels that's supposed to make it where it's a difference. I do see the average number moving, but I don't see the volume number moving. And it should, because I want to see the volume. We're looking at, oh, where do we see? Oh, this is looking at the weeks. That's why we on the, I'm looking at the weeks. Now you don't even see any volume. So let me look and see if that's not visible. Yeah, it wasn't visible. So let me cut that back on. We don't need the relative strength. There it is. There it is, guys. See, you got to know your stuff. That's all that is. You got to know your stuff. So we're looking at the 1 week daily chart. And now, because I have it on pro market open, my design, my settings that I set up, this is my whole little setup I use. You can see that the volume label is current now. If you were looking at it how we were looking at it before, that was not moving. That's because I got it set different for when the market is closed and when the market is open. So when it's on open, we can see where the volume is today. So the average label is no longer here, but we do have the current volume. And I don't know, do I have my label set up where I can cut that average on? Let me see. I don't think I did that. I don't think I designed it that way, but it won't hurt to see. So if I go in here and I go to settings, is there an average label in here? Show percent, percentile, below, above, below, average. Here it is right here, show average volume. Click yes, apply, okay. And now I have my average label there. So I can still see what the average volume is for this stock, for Carnival. And I can see what the current volume is now. So I can just eyeball it and be able to tell that even in the afternoon, we've already went past the average volume for this stock. And as far as technical analysis, a candle pattern that we see in, they call this a gap or a window. It's a universal term. And I'll show you what that means. I'm gonna remove these support and resistance lines that we drew on here previously. Remove, drawing. Okay. So the gap is between the low of this candle, it snapped to the bottom of it, and the high of this candle. So yesterday's high to today's low created a gap in the price action. There's no normal trading session trading at these price levels because of the gap up. And it went up on higher volume as well, which we already identified. So the technical analysis pattern we're seeing is that the stock price gapped up or created a window to the upside. And it tested the 200-day simple moving average. That's where this wick had barely crossed. So right now, this 200-day simple moving average is acting as resistance for this stock price action. That's what I'm seeing. And I already removed the support and resistance line. So whatever I removed, I believe the price was still above it. So that would have been the support line, but I removed it because I wanted to focus on putting these lines on here to make it easy for you to be able to see the support, the gap, for you to be able to see the gap. So I'm going to leave this up while I work on the closing for this script. Okay. I'm watching the chat. If you have any questions, just go ahead and put them in the chat while I work on this. Market. And we have a show tonight. The link is down in the description for the show tonight, the Market Recap Live. We're covering Delta Airlines tonight because they have earnings today. And since they have earnings, I am going to pull them on the chart now since the market is currently open. And we can see how they're performing. And I don't remember if the earnings are or pre-market or aftermarket, but we'll figure that out in a second. We will figure that out in a second. And it'll be real easy to do. I'm going to show you on the Thinkorswim platform how we do that. I'm almost done with what I'm doing. Here we go. Copy. Got it. All right. Now, what did I tell you? I said we were going to look at Delta Airlines because we're doing a live stream tonight, Market Recap Live, covering Delta Airlines. And we're going to do it at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me pull up. First, let me fix this. Reposition where I am on the screen so you can see. So I'm going over here to the symbol box. We're going to type in DAL. That's the ticker for Delta Airlines. Ooh. That is a very bearish candle. This is today's price action. Here's the earnings. So earnings, they were released before market Central Standard Time. So they tell you when it was released. So 5:30 a.m. Central. And then they had the earnings conference call at 9 a.m. Central. And let me tell you something else that people get misconstrued or they don't understand sometimes. Just because a stock has a bad price response, like just looking at the technicals right after earnings, it doesn't necessarily mean they reported poor earnings, which is interesting. A stock can actually come out and have great earnings and still have a bad day. Okay. I'm going to explain my idea of how I look at it. There's no way to prove it, especially with the stock market. There's so many different variables about everything that's going on. You can have a philosophy or idea or perspective, but to be able to prove it is almost impossible. But it is a disconnect because people assume that great earnings is going to cause the price to go up and bad earnings would cause the price to go down. But you can have both happen. You can have great earnings and you can have the price go down, and you can have bad earnings and the price go up. So that isn't necessarily an explanation or an indicator of why the price went up or down. But as people, we always want a story. And because money involved, oh, they gonna give you a story. They gonna give you whatever story you want. They'll actually say it. They'll be like, even despite great earnings, the great earnings, they beat on this line and they beat on that line. Despite those earnings, the stock price still tanked. But they don't have no explanation about it. So what I found was institutions move their money into different sectors. So it's rotational. Certain sectors perform well in certain economic cycles. So let's say like the war, for instance, usually during wartime or when we're in some type of conflict, oil prices go up. It's like associated with it. Also, even if we take war out of the equation, you know how gas prices go up in the summertime, but they drop during the wintertime. So like just paying attention to those different changes can help you kind of prepare to be strategic with your investments. So while they have great earnings, would be a great time for people who already have profit to take on earnings day. And if you have a lot of institutions and smart money taking their profits on the day they have earnings, then the price is going to go down. So if volume usually increases around earnings, it usually increases. You have way more trading volume before, during, and after earnings, right around that time. So that's the perfect time to exit a large position, especially when the price is high. So we can see, compared to this area over here, today's price action was higher. So it would have been a perfect time to do some profit taking if you purchased over here. So the mechanics behind it makes it make sense. Like, oh, okay, but they're going to try to tell you a story. Like it was this thing in particular thing in the earnings, despite it being great, the stock price still went down. And maybe it's because of this, and maybe because it's that, and this and that. Just simple mechanics. It's a great time to unload large positions when earnings are happening, because usually the stock has more volume. So if you have more people buying at that time, that would be the perfect time for you to sell. As far as institutions, how they look at these opportunities in that way. As far as you as an individual, you have to make your own decisions about how you want to go about it. So I'm talking about how I see it. So this is Delta Airlines. We talked about the fact that we're doing this tonight on the live stream, and the link is down in the description, and it's called Market Recap Live. That's going to be tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I wanted to get some information over here, and I got distracted and I started running my mouth. And I'm actually feeling real good about this market hour. We a half hour in, and this really isn't difficult. And I think part of that is because I'm informed about what I'm talking about. So I really don't need a script. I really need just bullet points and to look at these different companies of what we're going to be paying attention to or discussing and things of that nature. So I wanted to be here today. Again, if you missed this at the beginning of the stream, I wanted to be here because I said I was going to be here. I really wasn't prepared. So this first live stream is going to be a little shaky. But as time goes on, it's going to smooth out. That's the same thing that happened with the Market Recap Live. Some of the best experience you're gonna get is from actually doing the thing you want to do. You hypothesizing and planning and reading books and watching videos, you gathering all this information, but if you don't actually apply it, it means absolutely nothing. You getting the same results as the person that don't know what you know that's not doing it. Because you know all the stuff and you're not doing it. So y'all producing the same results. You might as well be ignorant. So we got 3 YouTube channels. We got Original Greatness Uncut, and Original Greatness Shorts. So Original Greatness, which is a channel that you're watching this live stream on right now, we focus on self-education and education, financial education, self-education with wealth building. So financial education and wealth building, that's a better way to say it. Financial education and wealth building. That's what we do on this channel. We discuss things that will help you become more informed and educated when it comes to financial things. And we have a link down in the description for what most people don't know about whole life insurance, or what most people don't know about insurance. That's a series I've been working on. I'm 5 videos in, and I'm writing part 5, 6, and 8. And I'm almost done. And I got a surprise for when I finish these videos and I have them out. But you want to check those out, because you'll find out it's some very interesting things about life insurance that the average person just doesn't know. They think that life insurance only has death benefits. Like it's only something that's going to benefit somebody after they die. And that's not true. Depending on your policy and how it's structured, you can actually have living benefits, things you can use inside your policy while you're alive. And if you have a policy, or you're interested in getting policy, or if you a life insurance agent, those videos will help you tremendously understand what you have, what you should have if you wanted something specific and just wasn't informed about it, or how to know what you want before you go shopping for life insurance based off of what I'm sharing. And then if you're an agent, this can help inform you on how to actually know and understand your products better, to help let that person know what you have to offer so they can make better and more informed decisions about setting up their policies. So you definitely want to check that out. That's down in the link in the description. I wanted to check something and I got to run in my mouth again. And I know my keyboard is loud, but that's because I'm using the shotgun mic instead of the other mic that we use. I didn't want my desk cluttered up this morning. I'll be with you in 1 second. You got any questions? Just go ahead and put them in the chat. Hey, it's going to be an hour difference. That's what I wanted to know. All right. So when we were looking at the earnings time, Central Time is an hour behind Eastern. It's an hour behind. So in Eastern Time, they gave this earnings call. They released earnings at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And they released the conference call at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I should have known that, but I didn't. But I looked it up. If you don't know, you can find out. That's the idea. Ain't no shame in not knowing something. All right. Let's go over to look at there. See? In the middle of the day. Now we sitting up here talking about Carnival. Carnival was on the thumbnail, right? That's who was leading the market today in the S&P 500 as far as gains. That was the mover. And now it's 12:35 a.m. Eastern Standard, not a.m. 12:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Carnival is no longer leading. In the S&P 500. Now it's SanDisk and another company. It looks like Ciena. I never heard of that before. They still above 10%. It's just these have shot up higher, and it was right behind Carnival anyway, but now it's not the top gainer. So you're going to have different things moving throughout the market, and I know it's going to be different during the day than it is at night when we do the recap, because at the recap, the movement's pretty much over at that time. So let me work on these captions. Remember, you can tune in tonight for the market recap live at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And trust me, it's going to be more going on than this. This is kind of freestyling because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I was trying to get this stuff together. But I got my market recap stuff. That's together. And I didn't want to wear this dress shirt, so don't get used to it. I had to do laundry. I got to, man, life be lifing, but it's okay. We got to do what we got to do anyway. That was something I didn't finish telling you. So on Original Greatness Uncut, that's self-improvement. As personal development, self-improvement, specifically mindset, personal development, and consistency. People want like this secret to success, but the secret they're looking for, they're not being honest about it. And I'll explain what I mean. Most people are looking for some type of secret that's not going to take effort. That's the truth behind it. They actually looking for some type of secret that involves zero effort. You hate working. Like I understand somebody not liking their job. So they associating a job and work as the exact same thing. If you hate working, it doesn't matter what job you have. That means that you're just trying to avoid work altogether. Any type of change you have in what you're doing is still going to involve work. So the secret that they're looking for, they're trying to find a secret that has zero work involved. So when you tell them something that actually is going to involve work, they don't see that as a secret. That's not the secret. Of course, you don't want to do nothing. You hate working, period. This ain't got nothing to do with you hate working just your job. You hate working, period. So since you hate working, period, when somebody tells you that success is you showing up every day and being consistent and choosing something that you want to work on doing, they'll tell you it have to be something you enjoy. But my philosophy is it actually has to be something you know. Like, don't just do something because you enjoy it and you don't know nothing. Like, you're not educated enough in it to even hold a conversation or be able to share it effectively with different skill levels or different levels of people, or break it down to somebody where they can understand it. So it's not just as simple as doing something you just enjoy doing. It has to be something you actually understand. So you can, in my opinion, you can understand something that you don't necessarily enjoy, but it's something you don't mind doing that you can be profitable from. But at the end of the day, no matter what you choose, it's still going to be work involved. There is no secret to success that involves avoiding work. Usually it involves more work because you have to outwork everybody else or increase the work that you're doing. Instead of you comparing what you're doing to somebody else, you have to do more than what you've been doing. For instance, if I've been doing my live streams for a month at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the market recap lives, now I'm doing live streams called the market hour at noon. I'm a living example of what I'm talking about. So now I went from doing one live stream a day to 2 live streams a day. And then I went from having 1 YouTube channel to having 3 YouTube channels. And not just having 3 different YouTube channels, like there's a reason behind it and they all offer something different. Because YouTube has an algorithm that's looking for trying to pair you with a specific type of viewer or avatar. What they're doing, if you have a channel that's doing like too many different things, somebody that like basketball may not like hockey. So if you're talking about basketball and hockey, it does fit under sports, But you have people that probably only want to hear about basketball. They don't want to hear anything about hockey. So what I did, I separated financial education from personal development, even though in my personal opinion, you need both. Because if you're not working on you the same person managing the finances. The finances don't actually change until you change. But then you also have to be educated with the tools and the information and the resources to become better financially. So first you got to work on you. So put it like this. If you the type of person that procrastinate all the time, or you don't want to do no work, giving you all the information and tools about financial education ain't going to do nothing because you're not going to use them. So that's why self-improvement, in my opinion, is necessary for financial improvement. You need both because you're the one managing the finances. So because the algorithm don't know this, I separated it. So that's Original Greatness Uncut. You go get your mind together over there. Go to Original Greatness Uncut and get your mindset right. And then you come over here to Original Greatness and get your finances right. That's how we doing that. I'm working on the right one, but I'm putting it in the wrong place. And tonight, got any questions, put them in the chat. Put them in the chat, put them in the chat. Put them in the chat, put them in the chat. I'm live, I'm live. I could have sworn. Here it is. Nope, it's not in here. That's the wrong thing. I'm not looking at the live stream. So let me tell you what I'm working on. I'm making sure that I had this link down in the description. It says get notified for tonight's live stream. That's what it actually says in the description, but I'm going to update that. I'm going to put tonight's market recap live. All right. Tonight's market recap live. There you go. So that's down in the description. We got the ticker on the screen. So now this will be available next time we do the market hour. How much time we got left? We got about 15 minutes left. Visit Schwab for account details. See how this is popping up. It's taking a minute too. There's a long little disclaimer down here, ain't it? I don't need to say make sure. So let's change that. We're going to change that from make sure to just tune in tonight. How about that? How about you just tune in tonight? I ain't got to tell you to make sure you do it. Just tune in tonight. Can I put a emoji there? I think I can. Let's try a little emoji, see how that look. I'm using the emoji. I'm giving you the game. I'm using the emoji to put a little space between it so it'll get your mind like, what is that? It's going to throw it off a little bit from the disclaimer. That's an ugly TV, guys. I don't like that ugly TV. Let me see if I can get a different emoji. That's an ugly one. That's an ugly one. Ugly. Tune in tonight. They got like a million emojis, and it depends on what program you're using because it's gonna look different in whatever you're using, and it might look slightly different. But that's one of the ugliest televisions I've ever seen in any emoji. I can't even believe they got that in there. I think I'm gonna use something simple. I'm not gonna start using. I don't even really care for emojis like that. I thought it was gonna be a little slicker than that though. So I'm just gonna put a dash. We gonna use some type of symbol to separate this. Let's do the /. Keep it simple. Let's just put the / there. Tune in tonight for Market Recap Live. Link in the description. And that'll be the market hour disclaimer. For thinkers, for Charles Schwab on the Thinkorswim. Yeah, that's cleaner. We gonna go with that. I'm gonna try one more thing and see which one look better. Here's another one I like. I like this one too. Let's see if that makes it look any better. And there's one more I want to put in here. So I'll go to edit, go here. We take all this off. Just gonna take that, copy, and go here. Did it show up yet? That's a long ticker. There it is. I like that better. All right, I'm gonna put one more thing and we're done with that. So this will be set up. And this is another thing. So this, I'm giving you some original greatness uncut right here. This is some of that self-improvement, mindset, consistency thing. Instead of me hiding and saying, you know what, I ain't prepared, I ain't gonna do the live stream. I got as prepared as I could. And then I'm working on getting prepared for the next market hour right now in front of your eyes. Instead of hiding it. I could have did it off screen and then just waited. But sometimes that's just your mind justifying a reason to procrastinate. That's what I found, at least from my personal experience. Most of the time, that's your mind finding a justified reason that's really an excuse not to actually do what you need to be doing. Like, oh, we got a good excuse today. You know you ain't ready. Then you don't do the live stream. But now it's more so about building your credibility by your word meaning something. You said you're gonna do the live stream tomorrow. So now if people watch the live stream last night and they trying to tune in to catch the market hour and I'm not here, that's a bad look. I see something ain't spaced right, so let's fix that. So we got a space behind. So we're gonna put a space before and after. And then fix that, and then we're gonna go here, and we're gonna fix the before and after spaces with the number here. That's wrong. That's right. Then I need to fix one more, and then we're gonna see what that looks like. Hyphen save. I clicked save, but it didn't look like it reset. But let's see. Chat poll. 1, interested. Investing. 2, beginner investor. 3, experienced investor. I think the space too wide, so I'm gonna bring the space back in, make it closer to the number. Might flow a little better. You don't need the space right behind the number, but you do need the space between the dash and the word, the first word. I think that looks better. And I have it in here more than once, so I'm looking for where I want to fix that at. Here we go. I got to look at both. And if you're interested in the tool that I'm using, like what is it using? I'm using Restream. And I talk about that too. I don't mind giving the game away. because it still falls down to the level of your work ethic. If you lazy, you cheap, or you don't take the time to invest in yourself or anything like that, you give somebody all the information in the world and they do absolutely nothing with it. I got this funny saying that we talk about when we talk about how there's a country saying like you can lead a person to water, but you can't make them drink. I don't know if you ever heard that before. But even from my experience, you can give somebody information and they'll still complain. So it's like you got them right next to the water and they still complaining about how thirsty they are. And it's like, I just brought you to it, man. We standing right here next to it. It's one thing for me not to be able to get you to drink it, but now you're standing next to the water complaining about how thirsty you are. Man, get off my face. Get off my phone. Stop telling me about your problems. I just gave you like, I don't know how many solutions, but they're not going to fix themselves. Like you got to do something. So if you ain't going to do nothing, I don't want to hear this no more because I done already gave you the tools and you don't want to do anything with them. So I'm good. Let's bye. So yeah, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And then I found that even when you lead them to the water, they want to stand right next to the water and still complain about how thirsty they are. And then if that ain't good enough, they're going to go in the past and talk about how thirsty they was. Like, bro, if you don't shut up and drink this water, that's where I am with it. Drink the water. That's in the past. Let's focus on the future. Let's get it. So CCL, let's go back to, well, now this company, Ciena Corp, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Now I'm interested to see what this is. And we are about to wrap up this market hour. We got about 7 minutes left from what I saw. So I'm going to click this company and go to Analyze. They are in the information technology sector. I've never heard of this company before. So ticker CIEN, and they're up 11.47% right now. And like I said, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. So let me take me off the screen for a moment. And I still have this Q&A thing up. So let me take that off. Here's their website, and I want to read a little bit about this company. Ciena Corporation, a network technology company, provides hardware, software, and services for various network operators. Now, I do have another tool I don't have on. So let me cut that on. And we're about to wrap up this live stream. We almost done. I just want to see what's going on with this company. And this might end up being the winner tonight. Who knows? But here's my cursor so you can follow me easier. Services for various network operators in the Americas, Europe, Middle East, Africa. And this is what I was talking about, how they'll name all these places, but they didn't put "and internationally" on the end. But this is how they'll say a whole bunch of countries or places and then say "and internationally." They didn't do it this time, but they did name a whole bunch of places. So let me look for another description. I want to show you this. I'm going to bring it from over here. That way I don't have to move this screen. I'm going to bring this over so you can see what I'm talking about. Blow this up. And we're going to go to Yahoo. All right, so Yahoo Finance, we go to Finance. Zoom in. Now we're going to look at that ticker. What was it? CIEN. Ciena Corporation. Like I said, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Go back to Restream over here. And I'm going to show you where you can find, just in case you don't have, let me take this off the screen and put me back on the screen. Just in case you don't have a brokerage account or Thinkorswim or anything like that, that actual tool, I'm going to show you how you can use this free tool, Yahoo Finance. And Thinkorswim is actually free too, I think for like a month, if I'm not mistaken. And then even to open a Charles Schwab account is free. Like you don't even need any money to open up. You just got to go through the process, open up the account, and then you'll have access to their platform permanently. But here is profile. You go to profile on the left-hand side. I'm blocking it. So let me pull that back up. On the left-hand side, you started off on summary. That's the page we were looking on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna move where I am on the screen. I'm gonna make this a lot easier. I'm just gonna move me over here. But if I do that, it's gonna look like I'm looking the wrong way. So I'm gonna do this little trick, and I know. Give me a second. Can't do it from there. I can do it from here though. Video settings. I can mirror the camera. I mirror the camera. Now when I look over here, it looks like I'm looking. All right. So we're gonna go down to profile. We go down to profile. If we scroll down, we can see description. Ciena Corporation, a network technology company, provides hardware. It's the same thing. Sometimes this was different, but it's starting off the exact same way, if I'm not mistaken. So that might be useful to you to see that this is giving you the same description that they're giving you on Thinkorswim platform. And here's their website information too. So you can use this tool, and it's free if you don't have access to the Thinkorswim platform. So that was the game for that. Let's go back to the charts. This company, boy, it's just been moving up since, not going, this 52-week low of $52.98 is another example of what I was talking about. So what I'm going to do, let me take me off the screen and put this back on the screen. I'm going to mirror this camera back, because now I'm going to be looking the wrong way. Video settings, mirror camera. You cannot see the chart. It's okay. I'm going to show you. So this is a 1-year daily chart. Remember how I said there's opportunities in the market that you haven't heard about, you ain't seen. Now today it showed up on the market watch as only going up 11%. So it went up 11% today. Okay. But when we look at the charts, when I use this tool right here, once it pops up, we still got the market open. Yes. You can pull this down. This tool, I'm gonna link it to the bottom. I gotta zoom in. This is bothering me. This is not working how I want it to. So I go to settings, appearance, equities. There's a certain time X right here. This is too many. So if nobody shows you, if it's, let me show you what I'm changing. You see this gap between this candle and the right side of the screen? That's this right here, the bars to the right. If you reduce this number, it's going to pull it further over to the right. So it gives you a little bit more space. You can go back. I don't even need it to be that much. So we're going to go back to time axis and go to 25. Apply, and it brings it over even more. Now go here, and I need the snap. Open, high, low, and close. That's on. Do I have that tool? Go back to the tool, and I'm trying to catch the bottom of this red candle. It connected these two. I do not want to connect those two. Remove drawing. Catch this first candle. All right, now I'm going to bring it over to the high of today. Snap to it. Just clicked it. All right, now when I mouse over this, I can put me back on the screen because you've seen where I connected it to. So you don't need to see that anymore. When I mouse over it, what is going on? The data box is popping up on the outside of the screen. So we go right here. It's popping up on the left. This is, boy, I'm telling you. All right, so let's move this over. What did I just do? First, we maximize it. So I got to minimize this. And I need to move this up. It's in the way because you can't see it. So move this over here. I'm not going to reverse the camera this time. Actually, I am. I want to do this right. I don't care how long this takes. If we go over an hour, we go over an hour. But I want this to be right. Mirror the camera. So you'll see me look over here. And now I'm blocking the tool I'm about to show you. I don't care. I'm going to take my time. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put me in the middle so you can see what I'm doing. Up here, this tool, right? Go to settings. And what we want to do, not settings, time. This time chart is not long enough. So we're going to go to 2-year, 1 day. Now, when I do that, it's giving me more information. But we already have what we want to look at connected. So now when I mouse over it, you'll be able to see it. So I'm gonna zoom in just on this area. There it is. So let me move me back in the upper right-hand corner where I'm not sitting in the middle of the screen. I can go right here. So in a matter of 365 days, a year exactly, this stock went up 842%. Now, didn't I tell you, if you watch these live streams, I'm going to show you that this happens way more than people talk about. 842% in 1 year. And they always try to direct you towards, or direct people towards, tracking the S&P 500 by diversifying. And Warren Buffett actually said diversifying is actually admitting you don't know what you're doing. Because if you know how to identify a specific company that has an opportunity like this, it makes way more sense to invest in a company than it does to invest in a diversified index, a diversified investment, an ETF. They do have pros and cons, and you are exposed to more risk when you invest in a specific company. I'm just sharing the fact that there are opportunities like this that do exist. That's my point. So let's pull up the calculator. If somebody was to have invested a hypothetical, we clear this out. So the last time we pulled the calculator up, that person grew the investment by 1,000. I think the ROI was $1,680. We're going to clear this out. Let me use this tool so it doesn't go away. I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna mouse over it. So if someone had invested $1,000 and got that 842%.6, so that would be 8.426. Let me make sure I did that right. Yes, their ROI on that $1,000 investment would have been $8,426. This isn't including the principal. So the principal was the $1,000 they started with. So that $1,000 in 1 year would have grown to a total of $9,426 investing in this company. And this wasn't even the lowest day. Now that we zoomed in, we can see that it just, you had this low 2 days prior was even lower than that. So we're not even going to go there. We're just going to go with what we looked at because we'll be all day. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. Let me move this over and put this camera back. We're going to go ahead and close this up. We're going to close this up. We got some more content today. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Video settings. Reverse that. Go back here. Go to my like main. Bam. Okay, you already know. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you earned something. I don't need to be beating on the desk like that because I got the shotgun mic on. You already know. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me this afternoon. If you haven't done so already, make sure you check out the whole life insurance link I have down in the description. And make sure you tune in weekdays following a market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Market Recap Live. And we have a show coming tonight. So tune in tonight. We're going to cover Delta Airlines earnings. So take care and God bless.